Nice.
What's up, guys? It's REV again. Hopefully you've been watching a lot of my sneaker review videos, and I appreciate it if you have. Go check out the playlist. If you haven't, you can catch up on all the old ones. So most of those reviews are fairly late release sneakers. Some are stuff I've picked up from people in trades or at cons or whatever. But in this case, I've got a pair of shoes that I've actually had on ice for a while. Not a super long time. They're not like, OGs or anything like that. But it is a pair I referenced actually in my last video, which was the LeBron 11 Christmas video, which I released in September. Go check it out if you didn't see it. In that, I mentioned that I'm really partial to kind of the Arctic green and the green glow in those colors when they're done on the posit materials or the more plastic materials, because they have that kind of iridescent, glow type look to them, even if they're not actually glow. And I mentioned that I had a pair of LeBron 10s that kind of ran in the same theme that I wanted to show you guys. And so that is today's review, which is this. This is the LeBron 10 Cutting Jade. Now right away you can see the whole body is this green material. The actual colorway, when I read it off the box here officially, is, I'm guessing this says tourmaline, T-R-M-L-N. And my best guess knowing colors is that it's tourmaline, which is a type of green. It's actually a stone, I think. It's a birthstone or something, isn't it? I'll check and post it in the comments. University Red Fiberglass, abbreviated of course, and then I can't read the rest of what that says. But it's kind of an unusual name, and so Cutting Jade works a lot better. And once I get to the interior, you'll understand a little better why it's called that. So the majority of the body is that green tourmaline color. It makes the shoe pretty damn flexible and very comfortable, and you can't really crease it or ruin it at all. Now mixing with that, you've got the mesh. This was also carried on to the 11, and that's one of my favorite things about the 11. It's here on the 10 too, lets the shoe breathe really nicely, makes them extremely comfortable to wear. On the outside heel, you have the red and black swoosh, obviously facing backwards. And if you go to the inside heel, or I should say the inside toe, you have the white swoosh on the front there, no outline or anything like that. It's actually the real only area of white on the shoe is on that front swoosh, but it goes with it, it works well. It stands out, but it still adds kind of a cool detail to the shoe. So if we drop down a little and look at the midsole and then what I guess we would call the shank area, there is this kind of interesting band of pink speckle material, and that is on the actual foam, the EVA foam. What I guess you'd call the shank is this sort of jade plastic here. This has actually got kind of a marbled, pseudo stone look to it. Reflects really cool. It's very hard to capture on the camera adequately, but it's an awesome look. So if we move to the actual sole, you have this icy green material, and it's got kind of this cross-check pattern that makes the traction area. Going to the middle, you have the LJ logo. Now, I do like the way this sits. It's not full shank like the 11, but it still has kind of the reinforcement plate in the center, and it looks cool. You don't need the whole thing there. And another detail I really like is moving here, which is the big X, the 10X on the heel. Again, it's kind of an interesting detail. I don't think it does anything for traction, but it's a cool look. And if you take a look at the zoom unit, you can see it's got the University Red full length, the zoom unit here. And just under it, and I'll try to capture it here on the camera, it's got zoom lightly embossed into the actual sole. So if we flip around and look at the heel of the shoe, the EVA foam goes full length, as does the zoom unit and everything else. And you have this neat little sculpted detail here along the back of the heel. And as you continue, if you stay looking at that, a little window shows up, and this gives you a neat hint as to the lining of the shoe. If you take a look at this here, it's a little diamond detail above some sort of symbol. I'm not sure what that is. It's pretty unique. I like being able to see kind of the multiple layers of the shoe, if you will. Reminds me of video games. If you guys know what parallax scrolling is, this might be kind of nerdy, but parallax scrolling is in video games when the foreground and background moves at different speeds to give you the illusion of distance and depth of field. Well, this kind of does that. Even though it actually isn't recessed, it does look like it is. There's just a barely an overlap material there. And sorry, I nerded it out a little bit, but it's such an interesting detail that I thought I'd bring it up. So flipping over to the tongue and the top of the toe here, you see we've got the red speckled laces over a black tongue, and the black tongue itself is got the embossed LeBron pattern there on the top with the pull strap that's also got some detail work on it. And with the entire outside of the shoe covered, we can move on to the inside of the shoe, which is one of the stars of this. Yeah, it's a cool colorway with a lot of detail, but the inside really shines. If you open up the actual inside of the shoe here, I really like the printed lining on LeBron's. It's one thing they do that a lot of other shoes just don't do, and I know it's strange because you don't see it, but like on the interior of a car, if it's yours, you can appreciate it. There is this printed full kind of depth graphic in here, and it's got a mixture of all sorts of stuff. You've got some Chinese waves, you've got some gemstones, kind of hard to tell, but then you've got this guy on the tongue here. And this guy is a little jade cutter. Look very, very closely. He has got a little strap, and he is actually trying to hand cut a piece of stone, which, if you remember the name, cutting jade. So this actually has a little tiny dude cutting jade on the lining. I think that's hilarious. I've really not seen anything like that before, and it's a detail that to me makes the whole shoe pretty much worth it. If you go down a little farther in, you can see the flywire, which we're used to, and the footbed here. Now, unlike a lot of the other LeBrons, there's no printed words or anything, but there is this little detail. I'm going to pull this out here so you guys can see it. The embossed pattern in the center of the footbed is the LJ logo. Now, you can pull it out and remove it, which made the 10 a popular performance shoe because athletes could insert their own orthotics for support. When the 11 came along, it was replaced with that full thickness sole and footbed, kind of midsole all in one, that you couldn't do that with. And that is what a lot of people said was part of the cause of it being a much less popular court shoe for LeBron and other athletes. It wasn't just LeBron that wasn't a huge fan of the 11 on court. If you look around the league, the 11 for a lot of athletes was not that popular. I know Manu Ginobili rocked it a couple times, and if it fit your foot and was comfortable for you, that was great. But because of the custom orthotics, that just wasn't the case for a lot of guys. I'm getting a little off topic now, so let's bring it back to this 10, and I'll show you some views on foot. So that is the Cutting Jade LeBron 10. I love these iridescent greens, guys. I said it on the 11 Christmas. I'll say it on these, and I'll say it on something else I'll show you guys eventually, is these iridescent greens. I love them. I think they're a great color to have in your collection. You know, do they go with everything? Anything can go with anything if you can pull it off, put it that way. So with that, guys, thanks for watching. I got even more sneaker reviews. There's still a bunch of shit in this closet I haven't pulled out yet. Some SBs I haven't showed you guys, which I want to bust out. And more car videos, welding videos, probably a couple gun videos, God knows whatever else is going to be on this channel. If there's anything you want to see, let me know. Feel free to ask me for shoe reviews, whatever. You know, I got an open mind, so if there's something I can shoot for you guys, I'll go ahead and take a video of it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.